Thing is on.
What is up, everyone? So today we are going to be playing with our little K24 we picked up here in the last video. If you guys haven't been following, we have our new A86 project, and yeah, we're going to throw K24 in it because it's like the best option ever. So we all got sick last week, and I think we're all moving real slow still. But we gotta get stuff done, and today we're gonna play with this thing. We're gonna dismantle it and really get a better idea on the condition of the engine and just get it ready for when we go to all reassemble it, right? Because we had to order a lot of parts. We took on this project kind of out of nowhere. Usually I like having parts saved up for a while just so like when the project starts it's just like consistent momentum. But now I gotta play the game of waiting for stuff to come in to get more things done. Black Friday is current, so I spent so much money in the last like day or so because all the 15% off deals, right? Gotta use them all. So it adds up, saves you a lot of money in the long run. So man, I guess it's a good time to plug our Black Friday sale so we could buy more A86 parts. So if you guys don't know, till the end of the month, I think we have a store-wide discount on all our products of 25% off everything. We have new merch too that just dropped. We have crew necks. We got our old. We got the banners. We got the new swing pop O's. They're pretty fire. So hop below, shop Jimmy and cop yourself. Right? So man, let's get to it. So this is how it comes from the engine depot. Kind of crusty, not too bad. Just a full assembled long block, and we have to bring this down to a short block today, which means we just have the bare bottom end because that's really all we're using. Now the first thing I do is there's like half an engine harness here. Usually they save it for you, but it looks like these guys just cut it where it was convenient too. So you gotta knock all that stuff off. Here's the secret. Power tools make it real fun. Yeah, just get destructive with it. All right. Make sure, yeah.
Just snipping those?
We're just snipping them junkyard style, baby. There we go.
We don't need it.
Nope. All right, you gotta freestyle this one. You just gotta get all of this off.
All of this off?
Yeah, just like.
So just look for bolts that you can get spun off?
Yeah.
I could go.
The rest out.
I'm surgical with this thing. How the fuck? How the fuck do you guys do this? Nice. Need that. I get to throw this shit too. Oh yeah, you piece of shit.
You got it, you got it. There you go.
This is Jim's first time.
All right, so now we have our bare long block, and if you're gonna turbo this thing, this is it. Put a Type S oil pump in it and you are ready to party. We found out, I mean, we've proven with the K-Series cookie that put a turbo on it, it doesn't care. It's gonna make a lot of power. You don't gotta fight for it. You don't gotta go crazy with anything. Just slap the right turbo on it and it's gonna make jam. Now, since we are saying NA, we really need to fight for every horse puppy. In stock form, these things are great. They produce decent power for an NA 4-cylinder. Good manifolds, decent cams, and she'll be a blast. Seen plenty in cars like that. But we want to go a little crazy with it, so we're gonna basically do the whole thing over. The only thing we are not touching is the compression, right? You could always up the compression in the bottom end, and higher compression NA will always produce more power. But in our case, we should be able to produce plenty of power that I want with the stock bottom ends by just doing a bunch of headwork, right? So you could always throw a K20 head on it, throw some decent cams in it, and you'll be pretty good to go. But what I wanna do is I wanna get a fully CNC'd head for this thing and just make as much power as we possibly can, right? And so we're gonna do the entire head package. We're gonna go crazy with it. We don't have it yet, but we have to get our existing head off and just get the bottom end fully exposed and ready to accept the new head. So Sheesh. Oh man, the thing, oh look, the little ball fell out.
Wow.
Now this thing's just gonna fall out all day. There we go. Look at that.
Damn, that's sick.
There's a lot going on in there, huh?
For real.
Yeah, that's that nice golden brown we want to see though. That looks beautiful under there. So as you can see, there's 3 cam lobes for each cylinder right here. You see it? So we have the lows and the highs. So this would be like our VTEC cam. So when it switches over, we have the more aggressive cam to produce that VTEC power.
Wow, that's very interesting.
So they actually sell a special 19 millimeter socket where it's just like super dense, so you don't lose any torque through the socket itself.
But this'll have to do.
This might. I hope it works. Nope.
No luck.
All right, we're making a pit stop. Gotta borrow the special socket from my homie. Firestone. Oh my God, how am I gonna get in this parking lot? Block the whole door. Had to piss off every tech, just park in front of an empty garage door.
Hello, Jimmy. This is Steve from the future. You're probably editing your video right now. Keep up the great work.
Here we go, boys. This is the special tool. Now it's funny, it's literally just like a thick ass socket. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's thick.
It's just so like all the force and the impact in the gun doesn't get lost via the socket.
Little things.
That's all it takes. All right, let's try again.
Bow. Yeah.
Insane.
Like butter.
Insane. And if we're lucky,
This just comes right
that's
off.
it. Look at that. We got lucky today, boys.
Nice.
Love
But
that.
it's sometimes they're like stuck on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. It's nice though, for a modern engine, it actually is pretty simplistic. Like you have one chain on all the timing components and then one chain on the oil pump. You can't get any easier than that. Nice and simple. Of course, since we're about to take it apart, I gotta put this thing at TD. These things have so much compression. TDC. There we go. Where are we at?
What's TDC for the noobs out there like me?
Top dead center.
Nice.
Basically means piston 1 is at the very, very top. Come on. Could just take the plugs out, but.
Strong, Jim.
See the markings right here?
Yeah.
2 of those, gotta line them up with each other. And then there should be one on the bottom end right here that you can't see because it's dark, but there's an arrow pointing up to the notch on the block. So we are at TDC. Take the tensioner out. Probably should have loosened it first. So we're gonna do all new timing components, so we don't have to save these, but these things are actually in awesome condition, which is really nice to see. It shows that someone, you know, gave a crap about this engine at work. So we just can't blast these cam caps off if we do it in a certain procedure given by Honda right here, right? We don't want to damage anything. Because when you take tension off of one bolt, it puts more pressure on another area of the cam, so we have to do it a certain procedure so we don't cause any issues. So, number 1.
Boom.
Boom. Intake cam, and we got the exhaust cam. Everything looks great. Like the cam seats and everything are absolutely beautiful. I could not be more excited. Like the fact that the head is so nice makes me feel good about the bottom end, right?
Yeah.
Uses all the same oil.
Okay.
So now we have to actually remove our rocker assembly here, because right here, our cam tray actually isn't attached to the head. This all comes out with the rockers attached to them. And you gotta be really careful because the rockers, they'll actually fall apart if you let them separate. Ooh, like that. I caught it though, I caught it. You saw how it wanted to spring out like that? Yeah, see, if they get separated, they will, all these like bearings and stuff will go flying, so we can't be having that. So I'm gonna zip tie these together so they don't go anywhere.
Let's check the technique.
Let's see. Oh! These things really want to fall apart. See? There we go. See, now they're stuck together.
Nice.
Hopefully, theoretically. Alright, try not to, there we go. Oh, they're separated nice. Be really wary on where you pry.
Is what you could score some stuff.
Exactly. But with this big flat head, you got a lot of surface area to lay down. Come on, dude. Look at that. That went so nicely.
Desatisfying.
Ooh. But now it just looks like a normal head, right? You have your valve springs retainers, and you just have these tubes sticking up. So how many head bolts we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 head bolts. Not bad. So let's undo the head bolts in the specific OEM pattern so we don't damage the head, and this thing's coming off. All right, we should be able to pop this thing right off now if I got every bolt. Just like that. Oh man.
Jeez.
She's a crusty one. What the fuck?
Welcome to the Krusty Krab.
What is going on in here, dude? Looks like it just had shit gas in it. Look how crusty that is.
She's a crusty girl.
I mean, the cylinder walls, everything look beautiful. I cannot complain on that aspect. They definitely didn't use premium gasoline in Japan, I'll tell you that. The valve reliefs and the pistons are just caked with carbon. I think she'll be good. She'll do. Yeah, no, she'll do. Like, it's not like, you know, ups the compression a little bit, right? No. She's just dirty. That's all it is.
Need to wash that ass.
Definitely needs to wash that ass, that's for sure. So, I was expecting this thing to be real clean. I just think they use shit gas.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I think they just had shit gas and maybe had a bad O2 sensor and it was just burning up kind of grossly, you know?
Yeah.
Besides that, I mean, like, the coolant jackets are super, super clean. Looks like there was never coolant inside of them, which is super nice to see. Besides that, we just have hella carbon on the pistons, and it looks like there was a little bit of detonation here and there, but that's just, like I said, probably they probably just use shit gas in this thing. They probably just got the cheapest gas they can find, and they might have just never drove it, and so the gas sat a lot, and then they drove it, and the octane was lower, and boom, that's what you get. So
the recipe for crust.
that's it. It's just straight carbon buildup. You see that? Look, it cleans up real nice.
So she's crispy underneath.
Yeah, she's crispy underneath. It's just carbon. Wow. That's just comical, dude. This stuff comes off very easily, though. Honestly, if we threw this in crusty like this and we just like gave it some fuel treatment
It'll probably be valid.
and just beat the shit out of it, it'll probably clean itself up over time. So I'm not super worried about it. This thing probably never saw over 3 grand. This was definitely a grandma-owned car. That is for sure. We'll call this thing the Crusty Killer.
Crusty killer.
The Crusty Killer.
Crusty K.
Jimmy Oaks inspects the oil. He wonders of its past life.
All right, so everything on the top, on the front of the engine, everything that has to be removed is currently removed, besides 2 things, the oil pan and the oil pump. Now the pan right now is big and bulky and it interferes with our subframe because it is meant for front wheel drive. And then the oil pump itself actually is too large. Not only does it get in the way of the pan we need, but it actually doesn't allow us to rev the engine that high because it'll blow itself apart at high RPMs, and you'll see why in just a second. There we go. Oh yeah, check that thing out. So if you didn't know, this entire piece right here is just the oil pump. But the only thing that actually does any oil pumping is right here. Like this whole front section, you could see it stick out very clearly. So the gears in here pulls oil from the pickup, send it to the rest of the engine, and boom, you have an oil pump. But you still have this crazy mass back here, right? You see all that? There's actually 2 cylinders in it. And this is a balance shaft for the K24 engine. You could actually see the counterweights in the back here. The big mod we got to do here is we're actually be replacing this with a K20 oil pump, because the K20 oil pump doesn't have the balance shaft in it. It's literally just the pump. So it's not just a fitment reason here, right? Because with this balance shaft on the pump, we actually can't fit the correct pan. It's actually an RPM issue too. A lot of guys think it's the head of the K24 that doesn't allow it to rev as high as the K20. It's not entirely that. Mainly has to do with the balance shaft in the K24, because if you spin this thing at any high RPM, it could actually start to rattle itself apart and it becomes very dangerous. So we'll be replacing this entire unit with just a puny little K20 Type S1. So let's get this thing unbolted. on there, dude. Get this thing out of here. We don't want it. Big clunky oil pump.
Look at this.
We don't want this no more.
Oily behemoth.
There we go. Dude, this thing's heavy too.
There.
Oh yeah. Look at the inside here. You could see the counterweights, right? You see these two counterweights?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are, that's a lot of mass too, dude. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
That's insane. I would love to feel the before and after of installing a K20 pump, like personally, right? Because I've never had a stock K24. I've only had a K24 that had no balance shaft in it. K20s are built without balance shafts in them, so I wonder if K20s are naturally more balanced than the K24. So maybe for next project we'll have to do a K20 and see if it actually is smoother out than the K24. Bare bottom end, that's what we got here. Like literally just a bare block.
Bare buttocks.
With a crank bolted in with some pistons and rods to it. That's it. So now, it's funny, we are literally replacing fucking everything at this point. Like truly just using this thing for the block and the rotating assembly. We are replacing everything else now that I see it like this. To have like a fully operating rotating assembly for 900 bucks, you can't beat that. All right, so we're probably gonna see the 8.6 sitting like this for a little while. There's a couple of steps we have to do before we can actually get into work. So the first thing I wanna do is get this thing set out to get a half gauge put in it, right? Get that over with right away. There's a local fabricator around here that I've been dying to work with who's really known for his cages. And we got something planned out pretty cool. We're gonna send it there in probably like a week and a half, hopefully. And then from there, I think it's sending it straight off to paint, which will probably take a while. Obviously, there's no way to rush it. So we're gonna be painting the entire interior, the outside and the engine bay. So this thing's gonna have a lot of work into it. Luckily, as you guys remember, the body work was done very nicely on this car. There's obviously a few things that need to be done, and our door handle undeletes that we found also need some body work. And I still can't find a damn kit for this thing, like bumpers and side skirts. There's just nothing in the States, and it's driving me nuts. So I might just get the car painted as is, and then hopefully find a kit and get that painted later on, just to get the car sealed up, right? Because we can get it together without the kit on it. So on top of that, the engine bay, usually when I'm doing like a full project, I like test fitting the drivetrain before you paint it, right? Because sometimes you need to hit some things, cut some things, modify some things, but this swap has been done multiple times, so I'm very aware of what needs to be pre-modified, and it's a very simple setup to begin with, so there really isn't much when it comes to like custom fabrication of the actual chassis to fit the drivetrain. So I think while the chassis is getting done, we could just take our time and get the engine and drivetrain together so it's all ready, so when the chassis comes back, it's just slip it right in, and we're good to go. So like once the car is painted, it should feel like it should go pretty quickly. Like the mechanics of it should be really fast because there's really not much to it. And then like I said before, I want to do like a full custom chassis harness, which as you guys know should only take me a couple days. So I think once it's painted, it'll be pretty quick. So we're gonna have like a little bit of a slow area on this project for a little while. So we might try and figure out something to get into in the meantime. But I don't want you guys to think that we're slacking. It's just part of the process, right? So
Somebody's ripping.
it's definitely a Honda. So besides that, I mean, that's our update for this. I really want you guys to know where we are, but your boy is super shot. I'm so tired. I want to go home, drink some hot tea, and fall asleep. So I think we're gonna end it there for today. Hope you guys liked today's video. With our fresh start, we have a fresh bare long block to now build off of. Like we have a bare fresh chassis to build off of. So it's all progression from here. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. And Steve,
Have a good night.